right, welcome back after our long hiatus of not recording, being old.
Yeah, it's been a little while. Yeah, nobody's really listening anyway.
So, question one. We're gonna go Iran, Israel. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know enough on the topic other than I was always taught you don't fuck with Israel, but that's just what I was, military-wise, you don't fuck with Israel, but maybe I'm wrong.
So, I guess it would be Thursday, early Friday morning for us, or whenever Israel retaliated.
Yep.
And it was light jabs, nothing too big. Do you think this is something or just...
I think it's something, but I don't think it's something that's going to last, especially if the election year this year goes the way everybody thinks it's going to go. I don't think it's going to last very long. I just think right now there's no checks and balance in the world. With a lot of world leaders, there's no real intimidation factor.
Mm-hmm.
From America, from Britain, from most of Europe. I mean, most of Europe is all part of this woohoo bullshit and worried about climate change and worried about, proper pronouns and all this other bullshit. Whereas all these other countries understand that there's real things in the world. As much as I don't agree with it, there is, religion war. That's a thing. It's always been a thing. That thing that's long before you and I were on this planet.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's going on right now. Is there's really no common sense. There's really no say what you want about him. I don't really particularly like the man either, but there was an intimidation factor that maybe his stupidity would cause him to hit. Everyone was worried he did a button and launch a nuke for all 4 years he was in presidency. Let's be real. There was a real fear of that. That's not how it works. But
yeah, there was a fear of it.
There was a fear of it. Whereas now there's no one fears Biden. No one fears Kamala. No one fears our Senate. No one fears our Congress. No one fears. Even the Americans don't.
But should you fear it?
I think there should be a level of respect for it, and I think the only way to have a level of respect is to have a little bit of fear.
I don't know, man. I think that I guess other people say it best outside of the United States. We haven't been feared in a long time.
True, but I don't think we're the only entity either. Like I said, I think all of Europe hasn't been feared either.
Yeah, and that's the way I look at it from... If I wasn't from America, I'd be like, what makes them think that they are end all be all? The world would still keep spinning without you.
Completely agree with you.
And so...
Completely agree with you.
To me, I don't think that...
But I think that started internally before it even started externally.
No, I feel like that it happened externally first. But I think think about it. If they actually feared us, whether you believe 9/11 happened for real or not, that would have never took place.
Agreed, because then nobody would ever believe that somebody else actually did that. Completely agree with you.
Yeah.
Benghazi would have never happened. I believe Benghazi's real. I don't believe 9/11's were real.
Well,
did you see?
Wait, we gotta touch on the 9/11 one. I believe that 9/11 is real. I don't think that it happened. We know that it happened, but I don't think that we didn't allow it to happen. Maybe the higher ups,
I think we orchestrated it. I honestly think we orchestrated it.
See, I don't think we orchestrated
I think that the entities that actually did it, but we put them in a place to do it.
So I think we just didn't stop them from doing it.
The only argument that I love, it's one of my favorite arguments, and it's a real argument, is how do you miss a plane on a CCTV camera?
Because there's
Is that even physically possible? No. What I mean by that is, if you watch the camera footage going into the Pentagon, there's no fucking plane. There's not one camera angle of a plane.
Yeah. And I get that. I'm not saying that. I'm just talking about...
And then trillions of dollars are just,
Yeah, we saw the other two.
Oh, completely agree with that. Yeah, I'm not arguing. I think those two took place, and that was part of a larger cover-up, in my opinion. I don't think the Pentagon took place. I don't think a plane went into the Pentagon.
So you think the Pentagon was a missile?
Yeah.
Okay. Which, I mean, my thing, wouldn't there be... That was the one thing that got me was...
There's no debris of either one, though. There's no debris of either thing.
Yeah. You would think there would be...
that's weird.
Debris, and they're like, no, it burned so fast. And I was like, so how come none of these other plane crashes ever burn up like that?
Correct. I mean, you've been in the military. I mean, I don't know anything about land-to-land missiles, but I imagine there's a lot less debris of those than planes.
There are, yeah. I wouldn't know, but I'm assuming there's not going to be that much debris.
So the fact that there's no footage of a plane going in the Pentagon, so let's say the other two are real. Let's say that really was Osama. Let's say all that really took place. You lose all credibility with the third one.
Yeah.
So the moment the Pentagon has no proof of actually taking place the way you said it did, it doesn't matter if the towers actually happened the way you said it did.
Yeah.
It's like a woman cheating and then saying, but I didn't put it in my mouth. Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah. So here's the question. The fact that we can see things so much better now with the way technology is, and I think...
Can we?
Opportunity. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I disagree on that one.
Think about how fast you have
at your fingertips. But I get that. Hold on. The argument isn't whether or not we have more technology surveillance. The argument is, do you remember Gladiator? Do you remember the movie Gladiator?
Yeah.
So one of the famous sayings in that is that the people are like the mob. Just keep them entertained and you can do whatever the hell you want behind the scenes. I truly believe that.
Yeah.
That the reason why we're seeing such an output of YouTube, social media, all that, is to keep the people distracted so you can do what you want. So there may be more technology surveillance, but nobody's surveilling.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, think of how quick we got. Like, if something happens today, I can go to my phone and immediately start seeing the bridge collapsing from the tanker. You could...
Correct.
As soon as it happened, everybody eyes on. When 9/11 happened, you had to watch one channel, and then they all start putting on the same footage, and that's all you saw. Fair. You couldn't just grab your phone and look for yourself, and that's where I say.
But hold on a second. But back then, there was a level of fortitude in the journalism. So now, so like for instance, 9/11 happens. You watch that footage. You see it. You go, that's happening. Oh my God! The tanker happens, and you have to admit there's a party that goes, is this staged? Is this some bullshit?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree. But what I'm saying is, like, you didn't have everything that you have now, to where you could just run to your phone and pull it up.
Yeah,
so
of course.
Most people
that's that whole thing about misinformation.
Yeah,
CIA created misinformation.
Yeah, most people back then just took information as face value and rolled with it.
Correct.
Oh, okay, so a plane hit. Had we had social media during that time, I guarantee you within the first day, people would have been like, there was no plane there. There would have been so many people that had their camera phones out and been like, nah, that was not a plane. And so that's where I say it's a little bit different.
There's an argument against that opinion. Then why can nobody work a camera phone when an alien happens in Vegas or in Nevada? Like, what the fuck? Nobody knows how to all of a sudden use a camera phone, but we're supposed to believe there's something there? Come on.
Yeah. This is true.
I mean, I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist, so I guess that's probably why I just question a lot of things because...
Question everything,
There was literally laws in place before Obama that said journalism can't report things unless they know without a shadow of a doubt it's true. Like there was literal laws enacted. And then when Obama got in office, he ripped them out. I can't remember the name of it. So now we have all this information being thrown at us, and we don't know what to trust and what's real. So I would argue it's actually more detrimental now than it was back then. Yes, we didn't know the truth. We still don't know the truth. We question JFK and all this shit. I understand all that. But at least I would argue, because you're more bombarded with fake information and misinformation and misguidance, you don't even know what's real walking out the front door. Like, there's so much, I don't want to say fear, but insecurity of what to believe in the world.
But it's because of the government's lied to us before, so you don't trust them. The news people have lied to us because of who owns them, so
Correct.
You don't trust them. And so, I mean, now it's it used to be seeing is believing. Now it has to be touching is believing. Like,
correct.
Because the way AI works, you can watch a video and be like,
or
oh
even,
my God.
I can take it one step further than that. Like, imagine you calling me and telling me something crazy, and me knowing you going, this motherfucker would take a bribe to say some shit. So I'm like,
So I break you off some now. Hey, I'll call you in 10 minutes. Oh man, I know what I was gonna. I know what I was gonna bring up. What's up with the Milwaukee dude chopping up the girl, the 19-year-old girl?
I didn't hear about this.
Oh man! All right, so girl's going on a date with a guy. She's like real excited to go or whatever, and
put her in the suitcase. Walked her out the front door in the suitcase.
No. They go to the pizza place, and they hang out. They then go to a bar. Then they go back to his place, and then he drives to a park. And they're assuming that they're together at this time because her phone's still pinging. Well, when they get to the park, that's where the last time her phone pings. Well, when they get there, they find her car burnt up, and they find a leg. And then as they're searching, they find more body parts all over town. Like,
I did not hear about this.
Oh man, I'll have to send you that one then.
No, but I heard about the other thing popped in my feed today about do you see the thing about the Oklahoma City bomber, how there's someone in the FBI that looks identical to him? That's what everybody thinks that it popped up in my feed today. I mean, I'm sure it's bullshit. But I mean, it's a spinning image. Like, it's closer than if he was his son. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that's great. So I'm
like, that's.
So did they really kill him? Uh-oh, you went silent again. So another question that I can ask without you having to technically answer with a yes or no. Yep. So another question I have is, did you see... Dang it, I'm drawing a blank now. I just lost it because it was on the lines of the murder, the dude chopping up whatever. Kato Caitlin. His
Who the fuck is that?
Really? From the OJ trial.
I don't watch the news. I don't watch the news.
This is old, man. Old. So remember, Kato was the blonde-headed dude in the courtroom during the OJ trial. It was like, I heard banging outside my window. So like, yeah.
He's
been on podcasts left and right. I was like, here it goes again. 15 more minutes of fame. Said Chloe's dad dies, and all of a sudden.
Let's talk about that for a second. Hold on a second, because I said this to my wife the other day. She told me I was crazy, and I said, "Come on now. If the dad never dies, do we ever get the Kardashians?"
No.
Because he would never allow the tape to go public, correct? Because he's a lawyer.
True. But that brings me to the conspiracy.
And on top of that, did she kill him?
That brings me to that conspiracy.
I think, well, my wife's like, oh, they were divorced. I'm like, that doesn't matter. Yeah. He can be for his children and what gets out of his children, especially being a lawyer and a well-renowned lawyer now.
Yeah.
I absolutely believe she had him killed.
But look at how much money she made off of all of this. Like the death of her husband.
She is the fucking... Like, everyone talked about Hillary being the devil. Like, come on now. There's another one that's striving for second place here.
Yeah, I still think Chris is. On top of that...
She is fucking awful.
On top of that, though, I also have... So we hit Chris being the devil, Chloe, Kato, OJ's death. There was something else.
I still argue she's the hottest of the three anyway.
After all the surgeries, or?
Oh man, they've all had surgery, so you can't. I mean, it's not like you're gonna. All of them have. I liked it before the surgery, because she was the only one that wasn't touched yet. But
all right, so Taylor Swift dissing Kim last night, dropping the album.
I heard that she dropped an album, but I can't stand Taylor Swift, so I don't know. So, if anything comes up on my feed about Taylor Swift, I block it.
It's pretty funny. You have to go back and look at different articles to hear the diss. But I was like, okay, whatever.
Well, I mean, that doesn't shock me. Taylor image is that she's this clean and proper chick, and I'm like, have you counted how many men she's ran through, and they've all signed NDAs? Like, I'm sorry. If I'm having all these, if it was roles reversed and Taylor was a man and had all these females sign NDAs and everybody females, you would probably be like, man, he's running through Hollywood.
Yeah.
Nobody accuses her of that because of her image.
Yeah. Okay, so question for you. Travis Kelce. You look at, you know how you have a type, right?
Yeah, we've kind of squashed that, though. We've kind of both agreed that's not... I mean, you have a type, but you don't really have a type.
Okay, but...
Like, you have what you're used to, but that doesn't mean you won't venture out.
Okay, we have agreed to that, but... Why? Like...
Money?
Yeah.
Pressure? I still think pressure. I think there's something there with that whole Pfizer thing.
Really?
I think there's something there. I don't know what. I think there's something there, though. I think the only thing that's weird about it, and maybe I know I'm in the minority of this opinion, his brother Jason and the wife, right? Have you ever seen them interact? Man, she is not nice to him.
Really?
Yeah, so I wonder if the men like Jason and Travis are just such softies that they just cower to strong women, which is fine. I'm not knocking it. So maybe they got set up and he just kind of went with it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that he didn't want it. Or he wasn't liking her, but he just got put in a situation where he just went, fuck it. I could see Travis just being like, fuck it. I mean, I'm not a fan. If I could think of a type of guy that I wouldn't want my daughter to end up with, Travis Kelce's at the top of the fucking list. He is not his brother. Sure, I like the brother, Jason, but he's older. Jason's a sweetie pie, but Travis reminds me of the dude in high school that ran his mouth that never got his ass whooped
because of his brother.
You know what I'm talking about?
Because of his brother.
Correct. What's the famous line by Nick? Hey, did you ever get picked on? No, I had a big brother. 100%. It's one of the best lines ever because it gives every guy that has a brother, it gives them goosebumps because it's like, yeah, you had a big brother.
See, mine didn't work out in my favor.
Mine didn't either. Mine was a bitch.
Mine was because my brother was white, and so no one knew until after it was too late.
Fair. Oh, that brings up a topic I actually do want to discuss. And this one's a hard topic, so I don't know if you want to break off the video and start a new one, but this one's big.
Go ahead. Let's go ahead and knock it out.
All right. So I know you pretty well, and I know that you're not a fan of anyone, no matter what race, saying the N-word. I still feel like a child when I have to say the N word instead of Anyway, what is your opinion? I actually thought of this last night. I thought it was hilarious. What's your opinion of if you have enough references, a black person giving a white person like a pass where they're allowed to say it?
Honestly,
and you can you say it, and someone goes, "What'd you say?" And you whip out a card like, I got references.
Honestly, though, if we were to go truly honestly off of it, I think because I'm not a soft person, I feel like you have the right to say whatever you want to. Now, the reaction to that, if it's somebody,
do you want to smoke?
If you're like, hey, I'll say whatever I want to, because my brother Dusty would say it all the time, and people would be like, "Oh, you can't say that. What are you gonna do about it?" So they fight, and that'd be
basically it's that whole do you want to deal with the problems that it comes with?
Afterwards, it was kind of like, dang, he can scrap, and he's not. And then when they got to know him, they're like, all right, so he's white, but his family's black. He's
just a guy that's not going to be told what he can.
He's grown up around it his entire life, and he says, if you don't like what I'm saying, then, and then like now he doesn't say it at all. Like it was just so weird. Like now that you're older and you've been to prison and all that stuff, you're like, yeah, there's no point in me saying it.
And I think that's literally what it is. There's a maturity where you go, do I really want to deal with the problems that comes with it? It's not that you're like, oh, it's more like, do I really want it's kind of like wearing a MAGA hat. If I wear it out, do I really want to hear all the fucking stupid shit that's going to be said?
See, I didn't.
But I thought it'd be hilarious if you could be like, what?
Wait, I got a pass. So,
I got a pass.
The thing that's funny about the MAGA hat thing is that brand done or
no?
You don't think so?
No.
Did I think it?
No.
Here's the thing. Let's break it down by region.
He's one of you now. Like, can we be honest for a second?
I'm talking about.
You may not love him,
break it down
but tell me you don't love him for the fact that he's getting taken to the fucking courts by the government. You're like, he's one of us.
No. I'm about. Let's break it down by region. Like,
okay.
To me, it's brand. It's all branding. So
correct. He was one of the best branding presidents we've ever had.
It's no different than Nike or anything else. But
correct.
If you were to take somebody from the Northeast that's wearing a MAGA hat and you drop them off in Alabama wearing the MAGA hat,
they're going to be fine. I think they'll be fine.
You will be until you start.
I think you'd be shocked at how much.
You would be until you start talking.
I think you'd be shocked.
I don't know. I'm telling you. It's complete.
I think you'd be shocked. I think you'd have more problem with that MAGA hat in San Francisco than you would in Alabama.
No. You would. You would get the smoke automatically because of the MAGA hat. But what I'm talking about is when you get there and you start talking and that MAGA hat doesn't save you because you have different opinions on things. And they're like.
But do you anymore is my question.
Yeah, I think you do. Because like.
You think so?
Because, for instance, JK's boy Derek, whenever he was wearing the MAGA hat all the time.
Yeah, what the hell is he doing up in fucking Pennsylvania? Or New Jersey right
basketball tournament. Amara plays on...
Must be nice to have money.
No, Amara plays on the Under Armour circuit, so her what's that thing called? Her school team, because she goes to a private school.
Oh, okay. So, how the fuck does he swing that?
Scholarship. She's number one in the world right now or number one in the nation as a sophomore. Like she's balling,
wow,
dude.
Good for him.
So that's a whole new fight on his hand. A whole new fight.
We found a way out. He found his new meal ticket.
That's a whole new fight. Because that's the baby of him and the third child of him and his ex-wife. So, like, that's a big deal right now because she'll be Pennsylvania, Ohio, and wherever else. And they've been arguing about, because she's like, well, you're going to pay for half of our hotel room. And he's like, no, I'm paying for mine and I'm paying for Amar's as time goes, but that's it. So, but.
Why would he have to pay for theirs?
because she's like, I don't have the money, so you should have to pay for it.
Oh my God.
So I mean, that's gonna be a whole different fight. A whole different fight.
But the court costs are going to cost you more than a hotel room is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when that in NIL money will come to this. That's what I'm saying. She is that good. She has already been playing on the deck.
Oh, so you're talking about fight? I don't think. Hold on. I think that JK is a much better person. That he's not going to take money out of his kid's mouth, though. Like he'd like,
I'm not talking about him taking money out of his kid's mouth. I'm talking about whenever, let's say, you get a chance to go play at LSU or South Carolina or
and they offer the parents money
because now you have NIL, so they can straight pay you.
Yeah,
and they're paying. Think about how much Caitlin made. She made more playing NIL
at college than she is right now.
So whenever his daughter in 2-3 years gets to be a college player, they're going to be offering them roughly around $4 to $5 million to come to their school to play basketball.
Okay, that should be all the kids' money, not mom and dad.
JK will play it that way, but what do you think Mama's going to do? I raised you. You lived in my house and blah blah blah, and that's where I was like, that's going to be
Just don't let her go to LSU. Just don't let her go to LSU.
It's going to depend on where the big teams are at. I don't think that coach will be there.
JK, if you're watching, don't let her go to LSU. But you got to
think about this. The coach ain't going to be there. After they lost.
I can't stand that fucking team.
I can see her going to South Carolina, or I can see her going to USC, or I can see her going...
I was thinking Florida.
No, they're not good in basketball.
No?
Girls.
Not even Florida State?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're going to want to go to the best team that's going to win a national championship and pay you the most money.
Is UConn women any good? I don't know if they're any good. So there's a lot of money there.
UConn used to be the dominant outright. Every year they're in the Final Four. Now you're looking at there's a possibility that they're...
It's not LSU. God.
It just depends, man. Because, like, I used to be that fan that was like, they're not going to this school. Now I'm like, it's NIL. It's a business.
I get it. I completely get that. I just feel like there's also business ethics, though.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You're not going to have the same business. The turnover's different now because coaches are leaving every 4 years. So you have a new coach, new culture.
Yeah, that's fair.
New culture, new players.
That's fair.
So everything's going to change.
Once the kid's 18, though, the NIL is made out to the kid. So it's not like the kid has to turn the money over to mom.
Think about this. You grew up with your parents and you've had...
You're talking to the wrong guy.
No, I'm just saying. You think about just a kid in general that grew up with their parents.
Yeah. Say, hold on. Start over.
And your parents have sacrificed and came to every one of your games and they've done all this extra stuff.
Of course.
You're gonna break them off. I got $5 million. A new house is gonna cost.
So this is when JK needs to start laying the foundation, like, hey, that's your money. When you get to that point, that's yours.
But they're like,
don't let anyone.
That's where they're sitting there saying, I got $5 million. I can get you a house for $400,000 paid for. And mom too.
It goes fast.
It goes fast. Getting more money. That's the thing.
I understand, and I get all that, but don't do it right away. If the kid has any advice, wait.
Your NIL.
You can break mom and dad off, but maybe wait till after you get your third check or your fourth check.
You're gonna get so many because you can transfer now too. So, like, let's say you go in your freshman year and you ball out at South Carolina, and then UConn's like, "Yo, we'll give you $10 million. On top of that, you'll get brand deals from this place, this place, this place,
Under Armour or whatever." Yeah,
and I mean, I'm pretty sure since she's playing on the Under Armour circuit, they've probably already been laying the groundwork for, hey, you're going to be a sponsored athlete,
of course,
by the time you get here. So,
of course, I have a real problem with that. It goes back to even me and my kids. Like, I would never take $1 for my kid.
Yeah.
Like, I think those stories are really nice when, like, the kid secretly pays off the parents' mortgage. Like, that's sweet. That's kind. I think that's really, really, but to actually take physical money from your kid, no.
It depends.
I just don't.
Because
I couldn't do it.
You couldn't, but you might have to. Let's say Easy gets an NIL deal. Hold on.
That's never going to happen.
We never know.
Thank you.
Just say NIL deal hockey. And he's like, I don't really trust going and get a financial advisor anywhere else. I'm just gonna pay you, Dad, to do it.
I would do it for free.
But he's like, no, I gotta pay you because you're not. It's not something you're.
And
obligated
also, just
to.
like the other side of that, you are a parent. But the other side of that, you are a parent, and you can go, fine, pay me $1, and this isn't even a conversation.
What if he's like, no, I want this to be a part of my deal, so I want you to do a fair wage. So look at what a financial advisor makes, and then that's what I want to pay you.